Well, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days since I posted. I had to go get a second job and I've been working a ton, crazy hours. So, till this furlough's over, I'm just going to have to keep doing that. But here we go. Here is Elmo's Learning Adventures, Animal Alphabet. Let's just dive right in. Let's see where it listed the author. There's a, right there. Author right there. Animal Alphabet. Elmo is ready to learn the animal alphabet. From ape to zebra, you will help Elmo and his friends name as many animals as you can, starting with the letter A, all the way through Z. A. Can you guess an animal that begins with A? That's right, ape begins with A. There's also the aardvark, sometimes known as the anteater. It has a sticky tongue it uses to eat ants. That's a lot of things that begin with A, and there's an ape right there. B. Bear begins with B. A bear's favorite meal is honey, and bears make honey. That's two things that begin with B. I don't know if honey's bear's most favorite thing, but that's what they think. C. Cookie Monster begins with C. Cookie Monster is almost as tall as a camel. Cat, canary, and camel also begin with C. That's a canary. That's a cat. That's a camel. That's Cookie Monster. C. D. Barkley is a dog. Dog begins with D. Duck also begins with D. What do you do when a duck makes a splash? Duck. That's a duck. That's a dog. Can you say dog? E and F, they put together. Ernie begins with E. That's Ernie. But he's not an animal. Elephant begin with E. There's an elephant. Ernie thinks his friend Snuffy's nose is as long as the elephant's trunk. Fox begins with F. Flamingo, frog, and ferret also begin with F. That's a fox right there. G. Elmo knows some animals begin with G. They are tall giraffes and tiny grasshoppers. And don't forget Dorothy, Elmo's pet goldfish. So you have the grasshoppers, the giraffe, and Elmo's goldfish. That's G. H. That's a big animal with Zoe. It has a very big name, too, beginning with the letter H. It's a hippopotamus. Can you say hippopotamus? We got I and J. Grover knows iguanas start with I, and iguana is a type of lizard. That's iguana. It has a long spike running down its back to its tail. The jaguar is a big cat, spotted cat. Jaguars start with J. J. Which of these is iguana and which is a jaguar? That's the jaguar. That's the iguana. Jaguar, iguana. I and J. Over on K. K. For animals beginning with K, Elmo hops over to Australia. Australia is a country, a continent, where he finds a kicking kangaroo and a kindly koala. That's the koala. That's the kangaroo with its baby Joe. That's what a baby kangaroo's name is, a Joe. L. L for llama. Ladybugs and lizards all begin with L. What do you like a lot? That's a llama. That's a ladybug. And that's a lizard. There you go. L. M. Monkey begins with M. Look at Elmo play with his monkey friends. Imagine you are a monkey swinging from tree branches. What food makes a monkey go, mmm? Look at all those monkeys. N and O. Big Bird has a lot of feathered friends. Nightingale begins with N. Do you know what that nightingales sing during the day and at night? Nightingale's the bird. Owls begin with O, and so does ostrich. Both of these birds are birds too. That's the owl. They're known to be wise bird. P. Bert is playing with his pet penguin, Bernice. Penguins begin with P. Pig begins with P too. We got a pig and a bunch of pigeons. Pig, pig. Pig is pork. Good. Bacon. Q, R. Q and R. Quail begins with Q. How lucky, because there are not many other animals that start with Q. And there's the quail right there. There are a lot of things that begin with R, though. Grover is holding a rosy-nosed rabbit. Rat, reindeer, and roosters also begin with R. Rabbit. The white is rabbit. S. Zoe loves dancing with her friends, beginning with S. Swans sail elegantly across the water, and bushy-tailed squirrels leap strong from branch to branch. You need to be super strong to move like that. There's a swan. There's a squirrel. For S. S. T. Toucans begin with T. Toucans have large beaks. That's his beak. And live in Central America and South America. What birds live in trees near you? We're in North America, so we're north of where that bird grows. That's a toucan. Toucan. T. Toucan. We got U and V. U, V. Elmo doesn't think there are really animals that begin with U, but unicorn does. The unicorn is a make-believe animal that looks like a horse with a horn on its head. Oh, a unicorn in the picture. There's not a lot of animals that start with V, but vulture, there's a vulture, is one of them. Even though it looks silly, a vulture is a real bird. Yes, it is. It's called a scavenger. It eats the dead animals off the ground. U and V. W. Worms begin with W. Oscar loves worms, especially his pet worm, Slimy. What else begins with W? Wallaby, walrus, and wolf. Can you name other animals? Look, there's the worm for W. W. X. Grover knows too many animal names begin with X. The xyphos is a type of frog. And there's a bird called a xenophobe. Extraordinary. Elmo never knew that before. Oh, and there's that bird. YZ. We're almost through the animal alphabet. Can you find any animals beginning with Y and Z? Elmo knows that yak begins with Y, and zebra begins with Z. A zebra looks like a horse with black and white stripes. That's a zebra. That's a yak and a yak. Thanks for sharing these animal adventures with Elmo and his friends. You made learning the alphabet fun. Z and Y. Again, this was written right there, illustrated right there. Elmo's Learning Adventures, Animal Alphabet. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and God bless and take care.